Hello, my name is Ahreel Molina. I'm from Mérida, Yucatán, Mexico, and now I'm working in develop a model based on support vector machine. It's an algorithm of supervised machine learning that I use for modeling the behavior on the biobeds for the nature nonlinear and complex involved. And we started like a little like context of this problem. It's currently the use of pesticides is increasing to the need to meet the demand for food. Is they aim to protect crops against pests, weeds, and other threats. The current issue lies in the widespread use, improper handling, and excessive application of the pesticides, as well as the lack of the knowledge regarding the proper disposal in activities involving in their use. And those actions have a result in irreversible problems such as soil degradation, contamination of surface, and groundwater. Moreover, studies have highlighted the negative impact of the human health caused by pesticide exposure. Therefore, it's crucial to use pesticides appropriately and in conjunction with devices and techniques that minimize their environmental and health impacts. Well, the use of biobeds has proven to be an effective strategy for minimizing soil contamination and reducing the potential risks associated with the pesticide handling. These systems are originated in Sweden. It's a response to a need for a simple and effective system to reduce the environmental pollution caused by the pesticide handling. Well, particularly during the filling and spraying equipment, which is a typical point of source of contamination. Well, the problem is the efficiency of the biobeds degradation relies on an abiotic process and biotic process like the microbiological degradation that occur in a biobed matrix. However, due to the complex and non-linear nature of this process involved, modeling the behavior can be challenging. For that, in this study, proposed the use of a machine learning algorithm that's called super vector machine. In short form is SVM. And it's used because it's under robustness and handling classification and regression tasks. The SVM is a supervised machine learning, and this is that need learn from unknown set on input data that called training data, along with the corresponding now responses. And this develop a model is capable of making accurate prediction for a new input data. And the supervised learning is employed when there is existing data available for the output begin predicted. The main objectives of this algorithm it's find the best separation and discover the best separation of the hyperplane that can be separated two classes of data points. The ideal of this is determined by maximizing the margin between two classes of data. This can see in the picture that form the support vectors, and this is the hyperplane that define maximizing this margin. Well, the objectives of this work is develop a quantitative model to predict the degradation efficiency of pesticide in a biological treatment system using this algorithm like a mapping technique. The specific objectives are relational with methodology of CRISP-DM that I talk in the next slide. And the specific objective is the preparation of database. The next is the preparation, preprocessing of the data. It's like to cleaning data, transformation data, the feature extractions, and splitting the data. And the next is it prove different configuration for this algorithm. And finally is the validation of this model with an onset data that can use for the training data. For a training model, please. Well, the methodology is based on the CRISP-DM methodology. It's a cross-industrial standard process for data mining. It's a process model that serves served as the base for a science process. It's a methodology standardized for a lot of industries, like for data mining, analytics, or data science projects. And this author reduced this methodology in 3 parts. The first part is the preprocessing data. The next is the generation of the model and select the hyperparameters for the super vector machine. Finally, with unset data, prove the capability of the generalization and performance of the model. 5 minutes. Bueno, in the first part of the feature extraction, we work like radiospectrometric studies with carbon-14. And in this data, we select time degradation, pesticides, and we use 4 different pesticides in 3 different concentrations. We work with like 5 composts for the biomixture. It's a vermiculite, soil, compost, perlite, and straw. And this into the relation carbon-nitrogen and the microbiological total count, like an indicator of capability of the biological activity. Well, and the radiospectrometric is a technique that used to investigate the degradation of pesticide. And those studies are as labeled form of pesticide with a radioactive isotope with carbon-14. It's introduced in a biological system, is the microorganisms present in the system, metabolize and degrade the pesticide in carbon dioxide, labeled with carbon-14. It relates the amount of label of carbon dioxide release is measured and used for determining the rate of pesticide degradation over time. This approach allows for quantify the speed and extent of the pesticide degradation and by the microorganisms present in the system. Well, this is this following diagram shows the form in the develop this model. We can see the raw data. It's preprocessing. The feature and the labels are extract. Also, it split the data in a 90% for training data and validation data. On 10% it's for testing data to prove the generalization and performance of the model. In the training data and the validation, we find the hyperparameter to optimize the model, to find what is the best configuration to reach the best performance. Well, this is the result that obtained in this project. The prediction or the approximation function, like this algorithm, is can be represented like a linear equation, and the advantage in this is the input data is mapped into a higher dimensional features space using a kernel function. This kernel function is like k in this part. This is the result for different configuration for linear, quadratic, cubic, and Gaussian models. In this case, we use the rod mean square and R square for determination the query of this project. We find the most query model is the Gaussian fine. Yes, because in the next picture we can see the dispersion of the data in the adjusted line adjust. We can see for a linear, quadratic, and cubic, we had a lot of dispersion. Those are the equations that used for a modeling these kernels. Well, this is for a Gaussian models. In this case, the fine Gauss is the best adjust in this model. After that, we we continue to optimize the parameters C and epsilon in this model. The optimal value for epsilon depends on the type of the noise present in the data. The value of epsilon can be effect of number of support vectors used for the constructed regression function. For bigger values for epsilon, the fewer support vectors are selected in the regularized constant C and determine the trade-off between the training errors, which deviation with the training error will like the performance of the model. For the high values of C, minimize the empirical errors for training set that result a model can with a low generalization in the proof with the test data. And we can see in this picture for values in between the 100 for C, obtain the best occurrence, the precision of occurrence for the model, and the 0.1 for epsilon. This model are optimized to find the better values. Well, the generalization model has validation like a k-fold cross validation. This is a technique used for reduce the dependency of a single partition, providing a more reliable estimation of the model performance. It's a good standard value for key is 10. It's an empirical evidence show that it's the best for the large of the data. Well, and after the use and cross-fold validation, we obtain the next results. In this case, with the best adjust that I can find in this model. And this is the optimization model. And when I try to minimize the error to find what is the best these parameters to obtain the best model. And final is just the comparison between the testing data and the model generated. Can be in the model generated, we obtain these results, and prove with another data, we obtain the similar results that can be very satisfactory. There are not significant difference observed when comparing the established metrics. This indicates the model have the ability to make accurate predictions. And this is the use of this model. Predict experimental. Well, in conclusion, following the developed model was a successful model to predict pesticide degradation in a biological beds, achieve an R square of 92 and Rod-Smith square of 27 for the optimized model. The best architecture is the Gaussian modeling with a value of C of 22 and epsilon of 0.04, and a kernel width is the width of the kernel is the 1.14. The accuracy of generalization performance was good for employee 10 key, and in the test model with independent data resulting in R like 93 that it's not demonstrating a satisfactory performance. Well, the perspective for this work is consider a wide range of pesticide concentration of biomeasures and validation with other field data, like real cases, and we can use another techniques of optimization and or comparison with another machine learning methods. Thank you.